Bentornati a una nuova puntata di Breakdown in Tour. Questa volta siamo a Dublino, emozionatissimo, abbiamo un super ospite, uno dei commentatori più importanti del panorama mondiale rugbistico, un ex campione dell'Irlanda, di Leinster. Prima di cominciare però voglio ringraziare il nostro main sponsor Stiga, che ci permette di fare tutto questo, di viaggiare, di fare tutte queste esperienze incredibili, che ci supporta sempre comunque. La primavera sta arrivando, il codice sconto è sempre quello, ve lo metto qua e niente, che dire. Thank you, Bernardn, to be here. We got Bernardn Jackman.
Thank you.
How it is?
Very good. Yeah, just back from Paris for the last game for television, for Irish television, France, England. Incredible game, incredible championship. So looking forward to talking to you about it.
Yeah, fantastic. We're going to talk about it. First of all, but everybody wants to listen or just see what you think about this Italian side and then the Six Nations that Italy had.
Yeah, after the Ireland-Italy game, Italy stayed in Dublin for 6 days. And this Italian skills coach, Philippe Ducey, is a friend of mine. So he worked with me in Grenoble, FCG Grenoble. So I spent some time with the Italians. Richard Hodges as well, the defence coach. And I find the way they work very interesting, very good. I think Gonzalo Quesada is an amazing head coach, but how he organises his staff, the attitude of the players, the culture in the group, the confidence, the understanding of what it takes to win, I think is transformed, very different than maybe 5-6 years ago. And because of that, you had a very good championship. Obviously, the last game was disappointing, but to beat Scotland, to beat England, very unlucky against Ireland, just across the refereeing decision for a forward pass. Maybe a draw was a fair result, but you could have easily won. So I think progress has been significant, and this is an Italian team that are going to get better and better.
Clearly, we've seen it, and we're all disappointed about the Welsh game, but it's kind of like we were happy enough to have beaten England.
Yeah, I think the problem in this tournament is it showed more than ever the importance of emotion, and there was one less week off. Okay, so fallow week, and I think teams struggled to within 7 days find the same passion, energy again. Whereas when we had an extra rest week, I think the level of performance was more consistent. So this tournament, lots more like that. Even France, amazing for 3 games. And then game 4 and 5, they concede 96 points. And just win the championship in the end. Ireland started very badly, had a difficult game against Italy, very good against England, difficult against Wales, very good against Scotland. So the performances for most teams have been very up and down. And I think Italy, maybe their World Cup final was against England.
Yeah. And
Wales needed to win, and you just have a different level of emotion, and the result was a good win for Wales.
100%, yeah, they needed it, and then also it showed that Six Nations is really the best rugby tournament right now at the moment.
Yeah, it's amazing. So I'm part of a group who advise World Rugby, the Global Rugby Alliance, about the state of the game. So there was a conference in London 3 weeks ago, and lots of debate, 200 people, but they decided to keep the laws the same for the World Cup. And I think we saw in the Six Nations that with the laws as they currently are, it's possible to play really good rugby, and we've just had the best championship of all time.
Yeah, probably, yeah. You played men's championship, and then you commentated, and then you've seen lots of Six Nations, and spoken to to some other professionals, because I knew.
Yeah, sure.
I want to be your colleague very soon, and what I've seen, it's been unreal how it started and how it ended. We all knew that France was, the most favorite one side, but they lost against Scotland, and then they risked so badly against England, and that again it showed how tough is this competition. And on what you said before about having 1 week less of recovery, the Italian guys after England were knackered, destroyed, and then just after the Welsh game, I bumped into them on the road. They were zombies, and they were just. Mate, we tried, but we were so tired. So is this kind of situation that we're just 2 years before the World Cup? We're all very happy and very pumped about seeing this rugby, and then in 2 years' time, South Africa and the All Blacks will be better than us, or do you think it's going to be different?
Yeah, I think the World Cup tends to be closer, pressure. There's a lot of pressure in the Six Nations, but the World Cup does tend to change. Teams are a little bit more conservative. But I think New Zealand will want to play. David Rennie, if you remember how he coached in Glasgow, how he coached with the Chiefs, how he coached with Australia, they had a very attacking mindset. And South Africa, with Tony Brown as their assistant coaches, aren't as conservative as they were maybe before. They still have unbelievable set piece, unbelievable defence, unbelievable kicking game, but I think they have the capacity to play. So I think at the moment, the next World Cup could equally be the best World Cup in terms of quality rugby. And also you have, like in the last World Cup, Italy were poor. It wasn't a good version of Italy. Now Scotland, having beaten England and France at home, will believe that they can have a good World Cup. Argentina are on the way up. England are a good side. I know they had a very difficult competition, but we saw in Paris, England are still a good side. So I think you're going to have more and more teams going to this World Cup with a chance. And it's going to be a phenomenal competition. And plus, you have the Nations Cup now, which gives you competitive games in the summer, competitive games in November. And I think that's going to help all the teams as well.
Yeah, 100%. And what about Ireland? Like in the last World Cup, in the last two World Cups, everybody was, backing Ireland and saying, okay, this is that moment. Right now, they started like not properly, this last Six Nations, but I can clearly see that they're building something.
Yeah, I think the fear in Ireland, we were worried about the older players, players like, Gary Ringrose, Jack Conan, Tyke Furlong. Dan Sheen's not old, but lots of rugby. Could they find the form? Caelan Doris, Josh van der Fleer. But over the course of the Six Nations, they're back. They're back to their best. And now, because of injuries, we now have Robert Balakoon, right wing, Tommy O'Brien, left wing, Jamie Osborne, full back. But we still have James Lowe, Mac Hansen, Hugo Keenan. So now we've more depth than ever. We used 36 players in this competition, the record for Andy Farrell. So it's a much more positive now about Irish rugby because we were very close to winning a Six Nations. We won a Triple Crown, and we found a way we want to play again. Because after the World Cup for 2 years, we weren't able to find that style. I think that's now back. The confidence is back. So I think we're finishing the Six Nations in a very positive mindset.
Yeah, 100%. Clearly, it was very disappointing for us, like to risk to win the game here in Dublin, but that's how it is. What about the Scotland? Like your friend and my guru, Jim Hamilton.
Yeah.
What about the Scotland side? They really were about to make history, but it's kind of maybe we didn't really believe it.
No, it's crazy because when you look at the teams on paper, between Ireland and Scotland, it's very close. Most positions, it's a toss of a coin for a player. But now we've beaten Scotland 12 times in a row. Like, that's incredible when you think about a refereeing decision, the bounce of a ball. So I think mentally, the Irish team really believed they'd always beat Scotland. And I think the Scots deeply believe that it's going to be very hard for them to beat Ireland. So that's a big challenge to them. But against Australia, against England, against France, Scotland can win. The problem for Scotland is they're in our group in the Rugby World Cup. So they're going to have to try and find a way to beat Ireland. Also for Scotland, they lost 2 second rows for the Irish game, and maybe they just don't have the same level of depth as we do or France do. And Italy too. Italy need to make sure that they have some luck with injuries and their best players stay fit. So this Scotland team are dangerous, but they will finish this championship maybe a little bit disappointed that they couldn't come to Dublin and do something they haven't done for 9 years.
Yeah, I think we really suffered the miss of Simone Ferrari. Simone Ferrari is a world-class player at the moment.
I picked him in my team of the tournament for RTE. Yeah.
I'm very happy.
Yeah.
He got surgery. He's going to get well soon. And Momo Haza is a young tight end prop, like very talented as well, but especially in that position.
Yeah.
Simone is 32, and now it's been like 2 years that he's showing how good he is. So I think in Cardiff, after the first 2 or 3 scrums, it was clear that we were not at the same level. Not that it's not good enough, but just like it takes slightly longer.
Of course.
So, other than Simone Ferrari, is there any other Italian players that you will pick just in your ideal
Menicello.
team?
Yeah, so 2 Italians. So Menicello, but I picked him at 13.
Okay.
Because I picked Stuart McCluskey at 12.
He had a great campaign.
Yeah, great campaign. I thought your hooker was very good. Yeah, I liked him as well. Monteoni had big moments, but yeah, just only two in my team. A lot of French players, a lot of Irish players. I loved watching Italy play in this tournament, and I think they made a significant step forward.
Yeah, we loved it, and we wait for you next year in Rome. I know, you have to come.
I'm coming. Yeah, I'm definitely. Yeah. It's the best weekend, best away trip. Yeah.
Yeah. Finishing off, England. What is going on with this England side?
Look, I think England. Everybody had bad days in this tournament, but England had 3 very bad performances. They were good against Wales first game. But I think we saw in Paris why everybody is so disappointed with England, because they have very good players. You know, they've got depth, and I thought they changed their game plan. I thought they had a better attacking mindset. They kicked a lot less. They wanted to play, and they allowed Finn Smith, Tommy Freeman, Ferb Roebuck, play the type of rugby they play with their clubs. So I think that performance in Paris is a turning point for Steve Borthwick. I think he'll saved his job, and I think England will bounce back. England are very strong. I don't know why they were so poor against Ireland, against Italy, and against Scotland, but it happens. But the important thing is now they have consistency. I thought Ollie Chesham as a 6 gave a back row much better balance. And I thought Ben Spencer and Finn Smith together were a nice combination as well. So England will be back. England can be contenders for the World Cup, and next year I think they're going to be contenders for the Six Nations.
Yeah, I'm 100% sure. And what I'm even more sure that we probably will have a show, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to coming over,
Yeah, you have to come to Treviso, you have to come to Rome.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see you over there.
Thank you.
And we'll stay in touch. Thanks for everything, Bernardn.
Thanks, man. Pleasure.
See you very soon.
Thank you. Cheers.